Hello everyone, welcome back to the Jikook Diaries channel. Imagine two people who have been together for over a decade. They don't need to say anything, but their mere presence is enough to make millions feel the same warmth. In Are You Sure Season 2 Episode 5, Jungkook and Jimin don't try to steal the spotlight. They're just being themselves, but that's where everything feels different. Long stares, small smiles that appear for no reason, and silences that feel louder than words. This episode isn't about what they say, but about what they don't say. And after watching this, many armies are asking one thing. Are we really just imagining all of this? Episode 5 of Are You Sure Season 2 isn't just a continuation of Jungkook and Jimin's journey. This episode feels like a confession that's never said directly, but is clearly felt in every glance, every small smile, and every silent moment between them. From the first minute, there was a different atmosphere. There was no over-the-top commotion, no attempt to be funny or entertaining. Just two people who seemed completely comfortable in the same space, as if the world off-camera no longer mattered. Jungkook seemed more at ease in this episode. His smile didn't come from any major jokes, but from the little things Jimin did unconsciously. The way Jimin spoke, the way he walked a little closer than necessary, and the way he always made sure Jungkook was by his side. Every time the camera caught them in the same frame, ARMY could feel something indescribable. It wasn't just chemistry, but a closeness that had been built over years, through stages, pressures, and the long journey of life. There was one simple moment when they sat side by side, without any meaningful dialogue, but Jungkook's facial expression spoke louder than words. His gaze was soft, attentive, as if he was truly listening not just to Jimin's voice, but to his very presence. Jimin, on the other hand, looked completely at ease. He didn't hesitate to show himself as he was, chuckling, joking quietly, and occasionally glancing at Jungkook like it was the most natural thing in the world. Armies around the world immediately felt the emotional resonance of this episode. Social media was filled with clips, screenshots, and almost unanimous reactions. Many said that this episode felt like watching two souls understand each other without the need for explanations. Every small interaction was magnified by the meaning behind it. The way Jungkook matched his pace with Jimin's, the way Jimin reflexively looked to Jungkook when he spoke, all felt genuine. One of the moments that made armies melt the most was when Jungkook unconsciously smiled while Jimin was talking, even before he fully understood what was being said. It wasn't a smile for the camera, but a smile that emerged out of habit, out of comfort, out of the presence of someone who had become such an important part of his life. Jimin caught it, and his reaction was subtle, yet enough to make anyone's heart flutter. This episode also showed the mature side of their relationship. There was no need to constantly prove anything. They shared space, shared time, and shared silence. A silence that wasn't awkward, but warm. A silence that only two people who truly understand each other can share. Many armies called this episode one of the most honest episodes of Are You Sure because it didn't feel artificial. Jungkook, usually known for his energy, seemed more reflective. Several times he seemed to be thinking about something, and Jimin was always close by, whether with light words or just his presence. There was no overt touching, but their emotional closeness was palpable. Even the small distance between them never felt completely empty. Jimin himself shone in his gentle way. He was the emotional conduit in this episode, keeping the atmosphere warm and light. The way he cared for Jungkook, making sure he was comfortable, and occasionally teasing him in a very familiar tone, made many armies smile involuntarily. Their relationship felt like home, a place to return to after a long day. As the episode neared its end, many viewers felt reluctant to say goodbye. There was a feeling as if we had just been allowed a glimpse into a private moment that shouldn't have been for public consumption, but was shared with complete trust. Jungkook and Jimin didn't say anything explicit, but what they showed was much more powerful than verbal statements. Are You Sure Season 2 Episode 5 serves as a reminder that love and closeness don't always have to be loud and dramatic. Sometimes it comes in the simplest forms. In a glance, in a small smile, in the way two people choose to be side by side even when there's no demand. Jungkook and Jimin show that a strong relationship doesn't need to be announced. It just needs to be felt.
우리 파팅도 열래 다시?
나는 배우고 싶다고 너한테 어젠가 그제 얘기했잖아.
언제?
내 말 좀 들어줘.
어제?
For ARMYs, this episode wasn't just entertainment, but an emotional experience. It was proof that a genuine bond never fades with time, distance, or change. Jungkook and Jimin, in all their simplicity in this episode, reminded the world once again why their story means so much. And perhaps that's why, even after the episode ended, ARMY's hearts still felt warm, as if they were taking home a little bit of light from the moment they just witnessed. What made episode 5 stand out was how familiar Jungkook and Jimin looked with each other's silence. When there was a pause, neither rushed to fill it. When one spoke, the other listened with their whole being. That kind of attentiveness can't be rehearsed. It's built through years of shared experiences, through exhaustion backstage, through laughter in waiting rooms, through moments of doubt and reassurance that never made it onto camera. Jungkook's body language throughout the episode was particularly telling. He often leaned subtly toward Jimin, not enough to be obvious, but enough to be noticed by those who were watching closely. His shoulders relaxed whenever Jimin spoke. His eyes softened in a way that felt instinctive, as if his guard naturally lowered in Jimin's presence. These weren't actions meant to be analyzed, they were habits born from comfort. Jimin, in return, seemed deeply attuned to Jungkook's emotional rhythm. When Jungkook grew quiet, Jimin didn't push. He stayed close, offered gentle remarks, or simply shared the space with him. It felt like watching someone who knows exactly when to speak and when to stay silent, not because they were guessing, but because they understood. ARMYs couldn't help but notice how often Jimin checked Jungkook's reaction first. Whether it was to a joke, a situation, or a passing comment, Jimin's eyes would instinctively move toward Jungkook, as if seeking a silent confirmation. And Jungkook always gave it. Sometimes with a nod, sometimes with a smile, sometimes with nothing more than a look that said, "I'm here." This mutual awareness is what made the episode feel so intimate. Not intimate in a way that demands labels, but in a way that speaks of emotional safety. The kind of safety where you don't feel the need to perform, to impress, or to protect yourself. The kind where being seen feels natural, not frightening. Many fans described episode 5 as comforting, like a warm blanket on a quiet night. It wasn't just about Jungkook and Jimin, it was about the reminder that genuine connection still exists. That amidst schedules, cameras, and expectations, there are still moments where people choose presence over spectacle. What's even more powerful is that Jungkook and Jimin never tried to explain their bond. They didn't narrate their feelings or give context to their closeness. They didn't need to. Their history spoke for itself. Every shared glance carried memories ARMYs could only imagine, years of growth, conflict, support, and unwavering trust. And perhaps, this is why Jungkook and Jimin always feel different. Not because of what they say, not because of the big moments that are clearly visible on camera, but because of the small feelings they carry with them, never trying to explain them to anyone. If you felt that same warmth while watching this episode, if your heart felt at ease just by watching them side by side, then you're not alone. Millions of ARMYs around the world feel the same way, and that's what makes this moment so precious. Thank you for spending time with us on Jikook Diaries. If you want to continue experiencing tender moments, meaningful stories, and heartwarming analysis about Jungkook and Jimin, don't forget to subscribe and activate the bell so you don't miss the next video. Let us know in the comments which moment from this episode melted your heart the most. See you in the next Jikook story. Always take care of your heart and stay with us.